Hi guys, this is Waliya Najib. I'm a photographer turned influencer, and I can't wait to chat with you. I started as a photographer, many of you might know, so that was back in 2010. And at the time, I just loved taking pictures, but I also loved telling stories through pictures. So मेरी ज़िंदगी में जो भी चल रहा था, I would kind of share it through photos. I had this photography page actually at the time, and I was going through some personal stuff, and I was sharing that. I guess इतना common नहीं था at the time to kind of share all your secrets online. So my page kind of became popular because people kind of wanted to know. And then I was sharing at the time we went through, basically my dad had passed away and we're a family of only women. So I was sharing the struggles and kind of how he learned to deal with the struggles. And I guess that's what caught a lot of people's eyes, and that's what helped me become a public figure, I guess. Content creation happened later on, a few years later after that, is when मैंने photography एक time पे break ली हुई थी, and I was like ये मेरे से नहीं हो रहा because I had taken up too much of work. I was working all on my own, and it's so funny how ऐसे times में आपके साथ वो चीज़ें होती हैं which you don't even imagine. I was like I'm done, मुझे नहीं पता मैं अपनी ज़िंदगी के साथ क्या करने लगी हूँ. I'm gonna take a break. And that's when brands started to approach me and they were like, oh, because I was constantly kind of sharing my life, but I thought वो तो मैं एक side पे चीज़ कर रही हूँ. But that actually became my main source of income eventually. I could not have imagined, but that's how it started. शुरू में it was more fun. It was like, oh, the brands would tell us, oh, हमारे पास इतना ही budget, and now we can kind of, because it has become a full-time career, do it on our own terms. So that's the change I see finally. Pakistan में भी that brands and agencies and everybody is working on international standards. I feel like I've seen that transition from it being very like homely, very like candid, to like now a full-time, very professional environment. So we're talking 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago when I started out as a photographer. At the time, there was no such thing as content creation, influencer marketing. But what I didn't know that I was doing was this kind of, I was on the same lines, because through my photography, I was sharing my personal life as well. So I was doing a lot of work for my clients, but then साथ I would kind of share my life as well. So we were sharing, I was sharing whatever I was going through personally. It was kind of like an escape sort of a thing for me, where I had started to earn money because of my clients, but I was sharing my life, and that kind of helped me deal with the loss. My dad had just passed away, and we were all kind of figuring out how to deal with the loss, living in a culture where it's more male dominated. I was kind of sharing my life coming from a very women oriented family. So I feel like for years that was just the way I was taking things. So I was taking clients for shoots, and I was doing that, earning my money through that, but then side by side I was sharing my life through photography. Eventually that became what you call influencer marketing, but I didn't know that at the time. So this was 5 years, 6 years ahead when I took a break from photography. Brands reached out to me, and that's when I realized, oh, like, even though I thought मैं photographer बनने निकली हुई हूँ, but it was actually the road for me to get into content creation. I think to be authentic and gain that trust with people. It's tricky. But I feel like long term you can only sustain this if you are authentic. But बीच-बीच में हमें करनी पड़ती हैं कुछ ऐसी चीज़ें भी जो हमारे audience को पसंद होगी. But at the end of the day, I kind of want my audience to just think the way I do. I want to be relatable. I don't want to pretend for my audience. So I do that sometimes. I'm not going to lie. I think we all do it. But at the end of the day, I always want to be authentic to me to be able to sustain this for longer. The most important factor, you would want me to give you a very technical answer, but to be honest, and the mantra that I live with, and you'll hear me saying this all the time, is that you just have to stay authentic. You have to stay true to who you are if you want to sustain this in the long term. I feel like the reason that I was able to do this for so long is that. So that's the only way I can tell you. I think it's finally going towards the direction that we always wanted it to go. वही बात that we're not just making content, we're not just posting something. It's people would think कि इसमें क्या इतनी बड़ी बात है, आप हमारे लिए पोस्ट लगा दो, आपका एक पेज है, So now I feel like we really were trying so hard for so long for them to understand that no, it's not just a post, it's not just a story. So I feel like we're getting there. I'm very happy. I feel like सही direction में जा रहे हैं. I think just don't forget to have fun with it, even though it's become a career, and that's just how I take it. I just still want to enjoy life. It can so easily get so interlinked with your personal life that you don't know where to draw that line, so don't forget that. But it's great that we're able to help so many smaller businesses. So many smaller businesses can come up now. COVID ke baad we saw that change happen. And I love watching young entrepreneurs, women, so many small startups come up, and I think it's all because of social media and social marketing. So enjoy it, and I hope सब लोग जो कुछ मेहनत कर रहे हैं, they get somewhere, and I think this was the easiest way to make that happen, and it's happening now. So my inspirations when I started out were very photographer oriented, right? So my sister, who's a photographer in the States, was one, and then I had a few friends there. But when I started content creation, there's this internationally, I love Desi Perkins. I feel like I could relate to her throughout the stages of my life. I don't want to name any local, Pakistani content creators, because there's so many and I love so many of them, so I don't want to leave out any. Lekin I feel like up to, because there's so many, Allah ka shukr, and there's so many smaller pages that I love a lot. So I have too many inspirations to answer that question. I think वही बात आ जाती है, if you want to stay here for the longer run, then it is very important कि आप authentic रहें to yourself, to your content. You just stay original, because वरना तो you won't be able to sustain it in the long term. That's what I think, and I really believe हो सकता है कि शुरू में आपको लग रहा हो कि oh wow, I can do this, because there's money in everything. And when you see, alhamdulillah, the kind of money that people are ready to put into this, you can easily be not really have a personality and just do all sorts of work. But I think it's very important to stick to who you are अगर आप इसको long term करना चाहते हैं. And then the right brands will approach you and you will make your own niche. So being true to that is very important. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope there's something that you could take back from the interview today. Have fun and keep creating. Is that better? Okay.